KAL. Welcome to the pod. I'm Jessica, slash Jess, slash Jessica, all the names. This is my knitting podcast. It's supposed to be monthly. I didn't do last month. Life's been busy. So I'm back. And I don't have loads of things to talk about. I've had a lot of duds the past 2 months. And today I'm feeling inspired to sort through all of my ongoing projects and do a lot of like unwinding of stuff. So this is like kind of a pod, kind of a vlog. I don't really have lots of like sit down and talk about things energy. So I don't know what this is gonna be, but I thought I would just start it. So yeah, I have a finished object. I'm wearing it. This is the Strata vest by Cieslak, and I finished it. I steam blocked it when I finished it because I didn't have time to wet block it because I wanted to wear it that day. And it's mostly like the neckline stayed pretty good. This has stayed pretty good. It's rolling up a little bit at the back. So like I'm considering reblocking it. But yeah, I talked about this a lot, I think, in the last one. Did I talk about this? I actually can't remember if I talked about it at all. Either I talked about it a lot or I didn't talk about it at all. When did I start it? I think I maybe started it at like the end of March and then finished it in April. I don't know. I've definitely talked about this yarn because this yarn was supposed to be in another project, or like started out being in another project that I was like holding double or something. But this is the Edelweiss 4-ply from Kremke, and it's in a colour number that will be down below. They do their colours with numbers. But yeah, I really like it. It matches weirdly well with these trousers that I bought at a charity shop recently. Yeah, it's pretty good. Goes well over little t-shirts. I've worn it by itself, over dresses. It's nice. The only thing with it that I didn't quite think through is because I wear a lot of jeans, I don't wear a lot of jeans. Occasionally I wear jeans. Blue with jeans is a look. Although I'm currently wearing an all monochrome look, but it feels, I don't know, better wearing like loose cottony trousers that are the same colour rather than like jeans that are just also happen to be blue. Don't know. That's a thought. I feel like I've not worn it as much as I thought that I would, and I wonder if that's part of the reason, is maybe what I'm saying. But it's been finished for about a month and I've worn it, I would say, enough that I feel like justified in having made it, if that makes sense. Yeah, it was a really good pattern to follow. It has lovely shaping here, which I feel like makes the vest sit so much nicer. I did bust darts just to try and get it to sit like a little bit neater all the way around. It still does have a bit of a dipped hem. Like I've got a little bit of that oval there. So potentially if I'd gone, I did like the level 1 bust darts, like the smallest ones that you could do. Maybe if I'd gone up and done like the second level, it would have been more straight all the way around. But I actually am not fussed. I kind of like a little bit of it at the front. But I just thought I'd try it because I'd never done them before and I didn't know if they would work for me. And I think they do, a little bit. Yeah, there's like good options for that. Options for adding length here, etc, etc, in those patterns. So I would definitely recommend it. I will link it down below. I have one more finished object that I will get and I will show you, and then I'm just gonna get cracking on looking through stuff because that's what I want to do. So I'll be right back. Okay, this is a project that literally took me like 20 rounds to finish this week. It was like so close to being finished for so long, but I did it. I finished it. And I actually couldn't tell you. It's some socks. I finished both of them. Very proud of myself. It's a kind of self-drafted, kind of not sock pattern. I followed the Andrew Mowry Everyday toe-up sock pattern, except that I didn't do ribbing for like the majority of the foot, and instead I did this little pattern which was inspired by a pom-pom mag pattern, which I can't remember what it is, but I'll link it down below. So like this I kind of copied off of an image of that pattern, and then put it into the everyday sock. The heel, it's really dark so you can't really see that, but the heel is exactly the same as in the pattern. And then I did the same for the leg, and then just did a bit of ribbing at the top. Yeah. And they fit pretty well. I kind of wish that I'd made the foot like a little bit shorter, but if I'd done that, I think, sorry, I've got the balls of wool falling off my foot. If I'd made like this bit a bit shorter, because the, like, I forget how much they stretch, and then the heel creeps up my foot a little bit. But if I had made it shorter, it would have had to have been by like a whole pattern repeat, which might have then made it too short. I feel like I'm still figuring out how long to do the foot, but these fit, I think, better than most of the socks that I've made before, so I'm pretty happy with them. They need a wash. I've done all the ends. Proud of myself. Proud of myself for that. And I finished both socks, so like I'm pretty chuffed. And these I started making for End to the Third's Socktober knit along last October. So I finished them in October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 8 months. 8 months for 2 pairs of socks. So proud of myself. And I'm pretty sure I knit like the foot of one of them in like a day. And then the rest of it just took 8 months. That's the way it goes. I think with these is they were like a small project, so too small to like take on long trips, but not mindless or faffless enough to like take to things where I needed something I didn't have to concentrate on, because they had this like colour work element, so it was holding 3 different yarns all at once, which isn't something you want to do like at choir practice or in a meeting or like hanging out with friends. So yeah, but they're done. They're finished. And these are knit in Mondim navy. Mondim sock yarn navy. There must be a colour number, I'll put it down below. I actually don't know where the ball band is, but I've definitely talked about this in other podcasts, because this was one of my yarns for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along shawl 2 years ago. And that's left over, and I still have so much left over. So who knows what's going to be made with that. That's part of what I'll be figuring out today, is what I'm going to make with stuff. And this is some hand-dyed yarn from Ginger Twist, which I bought before I worked there. This is the only hand-dyed that I've ever got from them before I started working there. And it's still freaking going. I made the shawl. It was all of these were in my mystery knit along shawl. So they're my mystery knit along shawl socks. I don't know. I still stand by the colour combo, very into it. But this is in Crunchy Leaves. It's the Masham 4-ply. Very nice yarn. Big fan. Don't know what I'm gonna do with. I still have some left. What can you do? And there's another yarn that I still have a lot left of. Maybe a hat or I don't know. Who knows? And this is a yarn that I got from what was then the Perth Festival of Yarn, is now Scottish Yarn Festival, and I cannot remember what it's called. I think it's from potentially Blue Dot Fibres, but I'll stick that down below as well. So I still have quite a lot of these left. Don't know. Scraps. That's what we're figuring out today, but yeah, definitely good yardage on all of those. And I think when you're using like 3 different yarns I really wish that I'd weighed all 3 of these before I made the socks and then weighed them after, so that I knew like how much of each one went into each sock. It's actually not that much of each colour when you think about it, but I didn't. And also the weighing scales that I have are pretty rubbish and not very accurate, so that's what that is. These are done. Stay tuned, we'll see if I make anything with them. But yeah, other than that, what have I got on the go? I've got a project that is secret because it's a gift, which I think is almost finished, but I need more yarn for, so like that will be what it will be. And I'm looking at all my projects, all in like a massive pile over there. I actually have a new cast on that I think will go somewhere, and I've started unraveling all of that yarn from all of the different projects, all the blue projects. If you watched the last episode, all the blue projects have been unraveled except one, which needs to be unraveled, but the one with the 2 held together, I did it last night, proud of myself. I'm gonna get a few things to show you and I will be back. I have things I've returned with objects. I have more to talk about than I realised I did, as per. But yes, I unravelled the project that was with the Edelweiss 4-ply, same as this, and the Orkney Angora held together. But I haven't unravelled the cardigan that I started with this. So I've not yet reclaimed all the yarn, but I'm wanting to cast on something with this because it's so lovely and soft. Although I will run into the same issues with the blue on blue jeans situation, but I wear jeans a lot less in the summer, so maybe now's the time. If I put this light on, makes little to no difference. We do what we can. It's a weird day in Edinburgh today. It's been like really sunny and then just absolutely pouring down. That's what it is. New cast on. This is with yarn that you've already seen because I tried to make it into something and it didn't work. It's the yarn from Tamarisk Farm, organic wool Aran weight. It's quite a chunky Aran weight, and also what I found is that not many contemporary designers make stuff for Aran weight. I wonder if it's because I follow a lot of like American designers who would make stuff for like worsted weight instead, which is like a little lighter than Aran. I don't know, but I really struggled to find a pattern that I was like, that was the right gauge and a fabric that I liked, and also was a pattern that I was like I would wear, and that was kind of vaguely cropped enough that I might be able to make it with all the yarn that I have. Lots of different factors going into this, but I decided, and I've cast on the Ursa, U-R-S-A sweater by Jackie Cieslak. There's a theme emerging. Part of the theme is because I really like her designs, and I feel like I learn something every time I make one. Part of the reason is that I recently did her knit to fit class, and had some technical issues the first time that I was trying to do it. So the first time I was trying to do it, my plan was to make this, and I got impatient and just cast it on before doing the class. Is that true? I can't really remember. Anyway, she's been on the brain, her things have been on the brain. I made this, I did the class, no problems, and then I cast on this with my newfound knowledge in swatching and how things fit. I learnt so much. This is the notebook that I used for the class. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full spreads of notes, like so much about maths and like where to add stitches and where to take stitches away, how to figure out where to do that. Learned so much. Also learned not to put all that into one project at one time. So in this sweater, I'm trying out one thing to change the fit, which is to slightly decrease the stitches that are in this part of the raglan shaping. I'm getting ahead of myself, but no, that's fine. Because I've always thought, because I have quite broad shoulders, that I need the extra fabric here. But actually, I have quite narrow like tops of my shoulders and maybe need more fabric like here. So I cast on almost the same amount of stitches. I had to do a bit of juggling because of the shaping, but like imagine the same amount of stitches and just reallocated them. So like had 2 fewer here and then 1 extra here and 1 extra on the back and then the same on the other side. And I literally just did it 2 stitches. So it's not a crazy difference, but I'm interested to see how it changes and if it makes any positive difference. Like, even because it's bulky, it's like a bulky weight pattern, the like 2 stitches is almost well, I can tell you exactly because I know what my stitch per inch is for this. Basically it's almost, I'm getting 3 stitches per inch, or 3.03 stitches per inch, or I did with my swatches, which I genuinely did a swatch, proud of myself. I did 2, I can't find the other one. Don't know where the other one is, but I did 2 with different size needles to figure out what I wanted. Will be reclaiming that yarn because I need it. Anyway, what was I talking about? This is the jumper. Oh, right, okay, 2 stitches is like almost an inch. So it's like, it's significant, but it's not so significant that if it's a mistake, it'll like totally, like if I'd gone for 4 stitches, that would feel like would have been quite a lot to take away in the top bit. Anyway, that's the one change that I've made. I also might add a little bit. I've just got to the point where you would join underneath, but I think I maybe need a bit more length, so I might add a bit of length before I join for the underarms. Also because I like there to be a bit of clearance, like I don't like it to be right up in my armpit. It's not comfortable for me. Yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting with the yarn. This is like a much better project for it than the other things that I cast on, so I'm very happy with that. It's got a v-neck, which I'm like clearing into right now. It's got this fun half brioche stitch. Sorry, the needles keep clacking, it's really annoying. I'm gonna just hold them still. There we go. Got this fun like half brioche stitch detail in the center of the back, and then also along the raglan sides. I feel like you can't see hugely well what this looks like because it's on needles that are like slightly too small. Stop clacking. But you get the idea, you get the gist. This is cast on. I cast this on about a week ago actually, because I think the class was last Sunday and today's Monday, so this is about a week of progress. I did cast it on with the normal amount of stitches here and did about this much on it, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna change it. So I haven't actually ripped that back yet, but I started it, finished it. I have maybe like 2 more balls of the cream, and then I have all these other colors which I could use to do like the bottom bit or the sleeves or something. I think I might just order more I am now having the realization that I could have done some sort of like intarsia colourwork thing to make it kind of like a baseball tee with the sleeves being like a completely different colour, but I don't think that's what I want from this. So I may be ordering more, which is fine. That's what might happen. And yeah, that's the Ursa sweater. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was my little like things what I got from Willy Good. I went to Willy Good. I think I'd have put some clips at the front of this that you'd have seen. Don't know. It was a wonderful time. It was really nice. I only could go for one day because the second day I was working somewhere else. But I did one day at Willy Good. I worked the morning at the shop, which was like quiet because everyone was at Willy Good. But became busier later, so it was good to like get some stuff done. And then went the afternoon to the festival and looked around, got to meet some lovely friends. It was really nice. And then I bought some things. I was like, told myself I wasn't going to buy anything. I think, I can't remember. I ended up buying some things. Weirdly, okay, I've just adjusted the lighting slightly. Apologies if it's been really dark up until this point. Is what it is. The Edinburgh weather, you've come to expect this by now. There we go. I weirdly ended up buying a lot of Shetland yarn, in fact exclusively Shetland yarn. I'd gone in thinking that I wanted something like in some kind of naturally dyed like lighter colours, and then potentially also some sort of like yarn bundle, like a set with lots of different things, like maybe a little sock set with some like naturally dyed, or I don't know, something along those lines where some colours have been put together for me. And I ended up getting that kind of vibe. I walked around so many times. I went like I just walked around and around and around all the different stalls in the marketplace because I couldn't make any decisions and I just wanted to see everything. So much so that when I did actually buy something from Midwinter yarns, the people behind the counter were like, I was like, oh, that's the first thing that I bought. And they were like, really? You've been here for ages? And I was like, I have been here for ages. And I bought this bag, which I love. And I'm gonna try and focus more on. There we go. It's made from vintage fabric and it's beautiful. Yeah, and also from them, why is it so dark? This is professionalism. Also from them, I bought this yarn fade set of like a pinky red fade set. Let me get that. Okay. Of these colours. So they said that what they did for this is that the yarns are like different shades to begin with and then they're all put in the same dye pot. And I really liked that. And there was a sample that was in this colourway. You can see it slightly better over here. Yeah, there was a sample that I really liked that was with the stripes of each colour and it had like that kind of seashell-y, like waves, classic Shetland pattern. And what I was thinking to do is to have some sort of like t-shirt thing with the waves pattern with the stripes in it. I may need to buy another set of this colour, just like, because this is 200 grams, which is, it's 182 meters. Oh, they've done the math for me. It's 728 meters total, which might be enough for like a little t-shirt. The pattern that I wanted to use is from a Shetland Trader mag that I'd seen a picture of and I was like, oh, that looks great, I'll just do that but cropped. but I just looked at it, well, I looked at the pattern and it's bottom up, which is I find is a lot harder to do if you're like trying to work with a small amount of yarn and like make it go as far as possible. So I may need to buy more if that is what I want to make, or pick another pattern. So TBD on that. Yeah, and then the last thing that I got was these two yarns in, again, Shetland wool from Donna Smith Designs in a lace weight, which are both naturally dyed. So goals achieved. It's a pink and a blue, like a variegated blue. Yeah, and the person at this stall said that so many people had been round, picked this up, I think because there was only, either this was the last one or there was like 2 left or something. That so many people had come by and picked this up and been like, oh, that's gorgeous, and then put it down and not bought it, which, like, you know, fair enough, we all do that, but I was like, no, I'm gonna take it. And I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. I'm wondering about making just a half and half wrap, because I love the one that I have and it's really great, and I just think these two colours would go really beautifully together. And I do feel like I'm currently missing in my knitting roster something simple that I can just like take places and that's like meditative. I do fear that I would then only knit on that, but like that's not the end of the world. And because it's a lace weight, I could just size down my needles until it was like a texture that I was happy with. It is also, I don't know if you can see, my previous half and half is in the back, and I did use a colour very similar to this, but then with like a grey. So again, TBD. Oh my god, my voice is telling me to stop yakking. And I believe that's it for things to talk about. I'm gonna go through my projects now, and I may check in with you with like some things that I'm excited about. I can't speak. Okay, I'm gonna go and look at all of my projects that are on my bed and sort them out, and I will come back and I will show you, I come back maybe tomorrow, who knows, and show you what I'm excited about and what I'm maybe less excited about. But yeah, thanks for watching this chatty portion of the video, and proceed with caution into the chaotic vlog portion of the video, which starts now. Okay, so there is much to discuss. Firstly, I've got sunglasses on. I was just outside. It's like 9 o'clock at night, but it's still light out. Look at this. Yeah, it's 9:15 on Friday, the 20-something of May, last week of May. Secondly, I have ice cream. It's coffee with little pieces of Oreo in it that I put in myself, and I'm really happy with it. Thirdly, I have roses. Lots going on. I remembered the one thing that I was supposed to talk about that I forgot because it was in a different pile than what I was looking at. It's a whole project that I just totally forgot that I'd done. I think partially because I am planning on ripping it out. Don't get too attached. I can't remember the name of the pattern or the name of the yarn, but it's pink and it's a worsted weight, and it's hand dyed. It's got a picture of a house on the cover, and I will put it down below. I'm sorry, I can never remember the names of things while I'm talking about them. The time at which information is in my brain and the time at which I want to film are rarely the same. Anyway, I just dropped, got a little comb. This is like near my desk. I've got, like, you do not want to see what's under here. It's just a lot of products. Anyway, it's a little shrug. It's called like the ballet something something. I'll stick it down below. I wanted to make one of those like jumpers that goes across like this, and then it's like just sleeves, but it goes over the top. And I thought this colour would be really nice for it. So I tried to make it by myself, like without a pattern, to do some sort of like, I don't know, I think I was trying to like increase more here and have like slower increases here so that it was like super wide. I did a few different things and I didn't love it, so I ended up just buying a pattern. The pattern was great, no qualms with the pattern. However, after trying this on, it's just not the fit that I want. Like, I want something super tight, and it's like just a bit too woolly and like not the vibe for what I want, which is some sort of like summer pullover, just like this. There's a pattern that is in a full ply that was recommended to me by Mimi, who also has a podcast. Hello. And I think I might make that with a different yarn at some point in the future. This yarn I think will become a little stuck on stuff like vest. I've got 2 skeins. It was in the like sale bin at work, so I bought it. I made it almost all the way through one sleeve. It was a really fast knit because it's worsted. Really nice yarn to knit with. I think it's merino. Yeah, literally like no qualms, except that wrong yarn for the project in the season. So this is getting undone, but gorgeous colours. I think I'm gonna make a little vest, but like if you have any pattern recommendations for 200 grams of worsted weight yarn, let me know. So that was one thing. I threw that on my bed. Second thing is that I finished a project in like the last few days. I was at, I'm very warm. I was at a thing for, what was it called? I was at the launch for the Scottish Journal of Yarn, the latest issue, and was chatting to some people there who were not associated with the magazine at all, but were there, and we're talking about making, like, this is what I finished. It's absolutely insane, and it's not blocked, no judgment. How they were wanting to make mesh tops and knitted tops, which reminded me that I had started knitting a knitted mesh top like a year and a half ago, can't remember. It literally is just so bright. It's in Indie Yarn Club Happy Feet merino sock, in this like neon color. It was one skein because I bought it to do the 7th Street shawl, which I did, and then unraveled because I wasn't wearing it, and I thought the yarn could be better off in another project. And this is definitely a vibe. I need to block it because at the moment it is like, you really can't see it, but it's literally like a little boob tube, and I want it to be longer, which I think is doable, but I just need to block it. So I finished that. I literally cast off this morning. I can already see one of the ends that's come undone after wearing it, which is a shame, but I will fix it. I also knit the majority of this before I learned how to split, like when you put yarn together with like splitting and spitting, and then you so it's just loads of knots every time the yarn broke, and I had to sew in all of the knots, so past me, it was not doing me a solid there, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's finished. Don't know how much wear I'm gonna get out of it. It's a bit crazy, but it was so close to being finished that I thought, it needed to get done. So I literally just had to do the sleeve, which is like 1 repeat, and then the other sleeve, and then cast off the bottom, and then I only have like the tiniest bit of yarn left, which I mostly got from, I also had to do the collar, and I did it, and I don't think I picked up enough stitches, and I also did it too long for my preference, and then didn't do a stretchy bind off, because I thought that I could just like bind off loosely, but it really needed like a stretchy bind off method. So then I ripped back, picked up more stitches, did fewer rows, and then did the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. So I had a bit of yarn left over from like pulling back from that. Yeah, this is the, I don't actually say what the pattern is. This is the Look at My Holes crop by James N. Watts. The pattern was good, pretty straightforward. Yeah, like an easy lace pattern. I wore it to work in the shop today and recommended it to a few people who wanted a little summer crop. So that is a whole finished object. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. A bit of tea that I forgot that I made. I'm gonna wrap this up because I want to eat my ice cream before it melts. It's already starting to melt. It'll be nice and like with the right temperature. Anyway, I have decided to do the Sheep Camp knit along from the Sibling Energy podcast, which is at M to the third, with and her colleague Tim, who are doing this podcast. It's really funny. It's just like a breath of fresh air in the YouTube world. So I will put it down below. But they're hosting a knit along for this sheep camp sweater, which I'll link in the bottom. And I think they're doing it for, they both work at Starlight Knitting Society, I think is the name of the shop, and they have a knitting camp, which sounds amazing, and I wish I could go. That sounds just so fun. So they're making this sweater, I think, in the run up to that, but it's basically like over the summer, and the cast on is this Saturday. The cast on like live party whatever is at like 2 a.m. my time, so I do not think I will be getting up for that, but I picked my yarn today so I can start swatching soon for it. Yeah, and it's a double, I'm gonna just take a little ice cream break. Hold your horses. So it's a double knit pattern. It's using DK yarn. And I wanted to do it in kind of like summer campy colors, so kind of like bluey, greeny vibes. But I wasn't sure what yarn I wanted to use. And then I was looking in the shop today and I remembered that I have almost a sweater quantity of the Orkney Angora in the like slate blue that I ripped out from my other project. And I had 4 skeins of that, which I looked at the pattern. So the pattern has 2, it's got a main colour and a contrast colour. And the amount that I had of the one colour, of the slate, was almost bang on for what I need for the main colour. So I was like, great, okay, I just need to find a contrast colour. So I looked through all the other colours and I went with something a little bit crazy, a little bit out there. I actually picked 2 contrast colours because I think I need like 280 meters or something, and each ball is 200 meters. So I needed a little bit more. And I was like, I'm just gonna get another color and figure out how to integrate it. Like I might use one for, there's like little kind of lines, like a striping bit at the top. Don't know. Anyway, this is one of my colors. These are my contrast colors. And this is my main color. So this is gonna be the vibe. It's all St. Magnus DK, Orkney Angora, 50% Angora, 50% lamb's wool. You get 200 meters for 50 grams and hand dyed in the Orkney Islands. I'm just reading you the label. It's hand wash or dry clean only. Yeah, so this I have 4 skeins of. and I'm in the process of unraveling. This is unraveled from one project, but I still need to unravel it from the cardigan that it started to become. But it knits up so fast. It's so satisfying. It's really pleasant. It's like got a gorge halo. It's super soft. So I just think that'll be really nice. It's very lightweight, hard wearing. It will be nice to knit in the summer. I think these colours go really nicely together. I just need to decide if like what the main contrast colour will be, if that makes sense. So it is almost 9:30, so I don't know if I will start swatching tonight, but I kind of want to. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So yeah, those are my updates. I also got another skein of yarn to finish the little gift that I'm working on. Oh, I just hit my lamp. I'm knitting like a little cardigan in leftovers from this, and I ran out, and I tried using a contrast color and it didn't look good, so I'm gonna pull out the contrast color and I just got another skein of this, which is the West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece Blue Face Leicester in dark brown. And this is the sew sweater that I'm wearing. I talked about it in my last episode. I love it very much. Gets a lot of wear. It's just right for everything. Yeah, those are my updates. I didn't film much about going through all of my projects because there actually wasn't that much to update on. Like, I put some things in project bags for like casting on stuff, but it was mostly the stuff from Willy Good that I'd already showed you. So there's not much to update. The main thing was that I picked that Look at My Holes out and I finished it, and I finished those socks, which I already showed you. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end the vlog here because it's already at like 40 minutes. Yeah, and it's almost the end of May, so let's just cap it. Yeah, and I'm gonna go eat my ice cream, and I will chat to you all when I chat to you all. Bye.